Welcome back, Kerbalots. So we are approaching our maneuver here. Let's go ahead and get lined up, because it might take us a little while. Oh, this isn't bad. This is not bad at all. Alright. And let's see here. Review stored data. We're gonna dump in some. Man, Jebediah is excited. Wow. Alright. How long of a burn do we have here? 24 seconds, okay. So we'll just wait until we're getting pretty close. Do some last minute adjusting. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Whoops. Huh, it turns out that little quick burn was far too long. Alright, let's see here. How are we looking now? 12 kilometers. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. 11, 10, you know what, I'm just gonna accelerate now. And we'll see, just very, very gently, we'll see if we can decrease this distance any. Oh, whoops. Silly me. We're close enough to the target that it was pointing in target mode, but that's not what we wanted to do. We were burning in almost the wrong direction entirely. Good, good, good. Relative speed is dropping, as is our separation distance. If we can get this below 2 kilometers, we're doing good. Still shrinking. Relative speed's increasing. Okay. That is probably as close as we're going to do from here. So, here we're going to go into target mode. We're going to wait until we're going to fire retrograde. About. And let's see here. It's as good of a point as any. we'll just fire straight retrograde a few seconds before. So this isn't really retrograde, this is firing to decrease the distance to the target, or the relative speed to the target. So we're gonna make it so that we're moving in the same direction roughly. Still decreasing, that's a good sign. Perfect. Alright, doing much better than we did last time. So let's go ahead and warp to that point in time. So you can see right there is the approaching spacecraft. Can barely see it, but it's there. Okay, we want to push this so we're heading directly towards it. See, this triangle shape here is the direction the target is moving away from us, and the yellow is our velocity vector. So basically our velocity is heading straight towards the target, which is what we want, at about 1 meter per second. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. We're going to try to get really close here. Not going to do the crazy EVA that we did last time. Alright. So let's see, we want to push in the opposite direction, because now we're kind of moving sideways. Whoops. Yeah, that's bad. Push the wrong key there. We'll call that a stuck thruster, which actually does happen. Okay. Well, that was something. So we're gonna fire straight towards the target. Actually, we're gonna go a little bit off. So we're gonna pull that. It's kind of the opposite of what we were doing before. This is the direction that you're heading, you're moving, and this is the direction, the pink thing is the direction of the target. So if you get the two lined up, then you're doing pretty good. Okay. Now, this time, Jebediah, you gotta get it right, buddy. Let's not embarrass anyone. Again. Lucky for Jebediah, that particular moment was not being broadcast down. So, you know, the guys in the Kerbal Space Program Center, they know what he did. But they're the only ones. Alright. So we're going to point this to the target. point this straight at the target, actually. Yeah, right there. This'll do. Okay, so we'll switch to the other spacecraft. Hey buddy, we came to rescue you! I know it took a while, but, you know, we care. That's right, that module's full. Whoops. I can picture this just like, you know, a couple of kids that, oh, this seat's full, go to the other door. Not that anybody ever does that. Okay, F grab and board. And now we have you on. Kind of a... Here's the view. Oh, yay! I can not have to wear my spacesuit for a while. Okay, that's enough of that. You are an engineer. Cool. Welcome aboard. Alright, now let's head to the moon. Not Minmus. There we go, the moon. Okay, let's see. We've just passed our optimal burn point, but that's okay. A little bit more. Nope. Okay. Yeah, we need to thrust some more. A little bit more. Oh, that worked. Oh, that makes my life so much easier. I remember there being a feature like that, but I tried to do it before and it didn't work. And now it did. Cool. And this'll do. Alright, so we got a burn of 1 minute and 35 seconds. Sounds good. A little bit more time warping. One thing that's interesting is, well, let's look in. We're in the wrong mode. But, you know, we're still pretty close to that other spacecraft. We're how far away? 500 meters. We were really going the same speed. Okay, let's do a prograde. Nice long burn. Now we will no longer be very close. Bye bye, little useless capsule. How did the engineer get stuck in a spacecraft that couldn't re-enter? You would have thought they would have known better. Ah, well. It doesn't really matter. So I don't know if we'll set up a science base or if we'll just, we'll probably set up a station here and I'll take it home at some later point in time. I think we'll leave them on the moon for a little while to collect their science data. Should have done some EVAs while we were at it. Oh well, I'll do the EVAs as soon as we finish this burn here. Looks like we did something close to the correct time. Huh. I don't know what's happening. Oh well. So let's have Bill is our scientist. Okay. Ah, well. Somebody's got to do it. And our scientist is the person for the job. So there's only been a few times where an EVA was done in deep space. Keep it. Scientists, of course, can reset. They can do all kinds of fun things. Scientists are incredibly useful in this. And I'll go ahead and F grab. So let's see here. What do we got? Observe the goo. Hey Bill, I want you to get out again. Poor guy. In a real mission that was designed to do this, there would be handholds so that you didn't ever have to let go. And you'd also be tethered to the spacecraft so you could always pull it in. Did I select the wrong one? Oh. That's okay. Guess everyone's got to get some exercise. Bob is our scientist. Not Bill. How dare I confuse those two, Bob and Bill. Nobody ever pays them any attention. They're just the two nerds that sit in the back room and occasionally called in to deal with some kind of an emergency, and then they promptly become relieved of duty. Poor guys. Getting a lot better at flying these guys. Hit the wrong button for a second there, but that's okay. Yeah. I think we're pretty decent. We'll go ahead and observe these, and we'll take the data. We're not going to transmit it this time. Have no real science, because we haven't even started. That's okay. We have a lot of data. Okay, Bob. One more time. Bob's just happy to do what he needs to do, because he's good like that. Collect data, restore, same thing here, collect data, restore, and board. I really should have put those up the science module there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start our research, even though it's probably gonna, kill our power. But that's okay. We gotta do something while we're coasting to the moon. Actually, let's stop here. I meant to get closer than this. Oh well. Little slight inefficiency. You know what? I'm just gonna... No, we'll do the best we can. But we will collect our science data again. Log temperature. Oops. Okay. For this case, we'll get Jebediah out there, because he can take the... We trust him to get this data. Get a crew report. I think I can do another one that we can keep. I didn't get one that was high in space over the moon, huh? Interesting. I must be slacking on those crew reports. Okay, so we got lots of data now. Good. Go ahead and warp to... How long do we have? Yeah... It's not going to take that much delta V. So we'll go ahead and put it into retrograde. And then fire. We'll keep an eye on our progress towards orbit here from Kerbal Engineer. Really makes it a lot easier when you don't have to go and fiddle with the map screen. This Kerbal Engineer really should be a part of the base game. And now we have succeeded to a really poor orbit. How much fuel do we have? Not that much. We don't have enough to land. And orbit again. So yeah, we're going to go into a low lunar orbit and we'll be good there. We'll go back.
Did you get your part of that balloon done? I'll wait for
And I'm back. Sorry, I had to take care of some business for a moment. Okay, so just found out our spacecraft doesn't have enough delta V to land. Pity. But what we're going to do is to go into a low lunar orbit, which we're already well on our way to. And we'll stay there for a little while, collect some science, and then return. We have a contract to get data from the surface of the moon. It looks like we're not going to quite be able to do that. Oh well. Okay, we're in permanent low lunar orbit. Let's go ahead and get some light. I know this dark Kerbal Space Program makes for great YouTube videos. Alright, let's do our normal science collection. Process in the lab, we'll get a crew report. Actually, no. Okay, let's stop moving, please. Stay steady. There we go. Who's flying the spacecraft now? That's right, Jebediah. Okay, crew report. Add for the science. And let's just review our stored data. Keep. Okay, We'll have Bob get out and reset our experiments. And I guess we're gonna have a little lunar station here. Doesn't have a docking port, but that's okay. This is kind of like the space shuttle was intended to be. It goes out into space, does some science that you can only do in space. Keep and collect. Restore. Oops. You gotta be very careful with an EVA, it's extremely important. It's one of the hardest things to train for. Astronauts train for a very long time. It actually took quite a while to figure out how to even do EVAs. The scientists, they had to oh, what did they have to do? Took the US 3 or 4 attempts to figure out how to do an EVA properly. And by the time they finally figured it out, then I think it was possibly Neil Armstrong who was the guy who figured it out. They tried a number of different things, and finally the best analog they could find for an EVA was to do diving. And so pretty much all astronauts these days also have diving certificates because they dive as a part of their preparations for EVAs. And the reason why is because you can have a neutral buoyancy so that it won't go up or down. Okay. Please stop. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Well, we're gonna just start researching and let it go for a while. Pretty full up on our data, and collect some more science, which is good. We're needing it. I think I'm gonna put a pause in here and do some long-term studies, and I will bring it back when we take this spacecraft home. Welcome back. So I've decided that we're going to go ahead and abort. We haven't collected any particularly useful science per se, but we've gotten some, and it's been a profitable mission overall. So we're going to go ahead and head back. So, okay, when the engine is thrusting, I have a little bit more power, and there's an issue with transmitting the data because I don't really have enough power. I'll make a note to add some batteries to the spacecraft for next time. So that should help quite a bit. Let's see how we do. Yeah, that'll do. This is a heavy spacecraft, but that should do just fine. Alright, let's turn on the... We transmitted the signs, good. start researching for the little bit of time that we have left. And let's just warp. So we're going to transmit whatever science we have on board well before we get there. We want to have a nice full battery pack when we are re-entering. So we'll have about a half hour to fully charge. Alright. Maybe not that long, but it should be long enough. We only have a little bit of science on the spacecraft. How are we doing? Electric charge is down. Let's stop researching. That should help. Okay, good. Let's point retrograde. So we have a little bit of fuel left over, and this is a pretty heavy payload. I'm not going to trust it completely. We're not going to actually burn until we hit the atmosphere. This is something you would never do in real life, because you want to have the stage well separated, but yeah. We're in the atmosphere. Good. Then again, I say that, but I guess to some extent this is what the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy do when they're landing, although they don't have the payload still attached. Huh, we might not even use the heat shield at all. Not really heating up. I'm going to keep the engine stage still on. It won't hurt anything. It might burn up here in re-entry, but it probably will. I definitely can't land with it. But I'm afraid if I let it go now, then it will be too much. Poor little landing legs, we never even got to use you. Oh well. It'll be fine. We did rescue Madzer, and we got some good science from around the moon, so it wasn't a complete waste. We'll call this our Apollo 8 mission, just going around the moon, testing out a new spacecraft. Actually, we'll call this Apollo 10, because this is the dress rehearsal. We now have a few things that we know we need to shake down. I didn't lose anything too important. Well, we're relatively stable. Don't like the angle we're going down, though. We do have electric charge. I don't understand why we're not. Okay. Well, we're slowing down fine. It looks like our science spacecraft here has survived. I will go ahead and play this all the way through because this is a lot more parachutes than we normally use. Although, landing in the dark, you can probably hardly see anything. Huh. There's a rocket booster stage, and it looks like it actually survived fairly well. Maybe I should have kept it. Let's go ahead and deploy all of our parachutes. Oh, I hope these are enough. You know what? I'm gonna configure these to open a little bit higher than normal. If I did this on the ground, it would have configured them all the same way, but give us a little bit more time to slow down. We are still moving awfully fast. Oof. That was some high G-forces. Normally you have a drogue chute to slow down gradually the placement there, but yeah, this worked. And it looks like we're going okay. We're not going to impact too hard. It'll be an ocean landing at night. Our Kerbals will get to go home and enjoy themselves. Wow! The booster stage survived, so we're going to have to recover that. We'll go ahead and zoom through here the last little bit, but all should be well. All will be well. See, Jebediah is happy, Bob's happy, Madzer just doesn't even know what to do anymore. He's just like, what is this planet? I haven't been on a planet in a long, long time. I got lost in space and then they kidnapped me and took me over the moon for a year-long science mission in orbit. Well, anyways, I think we're done, but thanks for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.